and welcome back to Empire Total War with the 1600 AD colonialism mod. We're playing as England, and since last time I've done quite a few turns. It took me a lot longer to actually correct the situation down in Iberia. And some other things has happened. So you might have noted that I think I ended off the last video around 1650 or 49. Now it's actually 1663. So I've done about 30 turns almost. And we actually had a war with India, which I completely decided not to show because it's an absolute mess every time I fight with India because of their unit spam. Anyway, so Iberia, I've managed to set it up now, so Portugal is in control of Portugal and Spain. They're safe trading with them and so on. Europe has gone into an absolute mess. France has taken Rome. The Spanish have taken up the former lands of the Austrians. So I guess the Habsburgs came back into power in one way. They fought each other in a way. Sweden has made a big push and taken most of northern Germany, and they've also, as I think we saw in the last one, they've taken Amsterdam. And now they're actually able to hold it. For a very long time they're exempting tax, so that's why they're able to hold it. But the Dutch rebels were moving back constantly to try and retake it, but they have now seemingly been conquered by the Swedes, and the last territory up in Central Europe of the Dutch might very well be taken out. The Dutch do have, though, their some of their colonies overseas, and they do have their provinces down here in Tunisia and Algeria. The Germans came back. I thought they were going to be way gone and they were never going to come back. They came back after a very long time. So the Brandenburgers are back, and I set up trade with them. And just to keep making sure that I have people to trade with, I've also given them Morocco. So if they die in Northern Europe, because Sweden really dislikes them, there's a great chance of them being taken out. So also one other thing that I note is that a lot of places now have queens. So our own king died and was replaced by Queen Anne the First. She's a very skilled queen. She's got 5 stars. Status quo, blah blah blah, frugal and thrifty, agrarian, tactician, and so on. So she's really good. Same with Portugal. Portugal got the Queen as well. Theirs is more interesting. Maria Isabella I. She's just as good, but she's just 22 years old. Harsh reputation, tactician, and so on. So she's really good. And there's a lot of yes, the Ottoman Empire. I've been discussing about attacking them because they have been sprawling out and becoming probably the biggest faction, even if you count all of my American territories. But they had a revolution, so the Ottoman Empire is no longer a kingdom or an empire. They are a republic. So they've changed to the Ottoman Republic instead. What else has happened? If we look at Europe, Bavaria came back. But not much more. Yes, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth got crushed in between the Swedish, the Habsburg of Spain, and the Ottomans. We'll see. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, the Ottomans and the Swedes are allied with each other. They're also allied with France. So it doesn't seem like there's going to be any major changes there of the Ottomans maybe sweeping through Europe. Like a mass Soviet charge going through. So that seems stable for now, but that's kind of what's going on in Europe. If we go down to India, we're once again at war with India. The last war I had, the one I didn't show you guys, nothing really happened. It was a stalemate. A lot of Indians died.
because I shot them down. But the thing is, till a certain point, you know, going around auto-resolving and fighting a battle against these light troop spam armies gets really annoying. So I decided, you know what, we're just gonna skip this over. We're not changing any territory anyways, because I don't have enough armies to actually push through and take anything. That's gonna change this time around. I have 2 armies located here. They're gonna move to Hyderabad and hopefully take that. Now there's a lot of Indian troops that moved into our territory, so we're not entirely sure how we're gonna deal with that. Might actually hit to backtrack with some of these, but we have some other areas where we can make gains. I have now readied myself for a attack on Calcutta, Bengal. So we've brought this army from the Americas here. So it's got that troop that we're familiar with, the veterans. But then I've added on tons of Fusiliers, and they're gonna go ahead and attack and take. We'll actually do it right now. So they're gonna attack Calcutta and take that, and with demand surrender, and they accept it to save the city. We're gonna replenish, and we're going to rebuild. Okay, I couldn't afford to rebuild all of it, but we took a lot. So that's great. We've just captured this region. If there's any there's the Hindu temple that we're gonna burn down. There's another one over there, so we're gonna burn that down. So we took this one. Also, from the other war, I kinda tested out a new style of army to deal with this light infantry spam, and that was a targeteer spam. Now, the targeteers, they will take heavy damage from the enemy's gunfire. Because the light infantry troops, they have 55 accuracy, so they are able to inflict a lot of damage. Once in melee though, the fight is... it's actually quite even. So, but the thing is, by the sheer number of all the targeteers, I'm able to envelop and destroy the enemy. So in that way, it kind of worked. We're gonna disembark this one. Should really have be a full stack of targeteers, so that's a bit unfortunate that I don't have a full stack. Gonna go ahead and demand the surrender here as well. And now we've taken 2 areas from them, and we're actually able to hold it. I can easily push on here if I wanted to, or maybe even here, to just if I want to quickly just stir up trouble for the Indians. So we've made 2 advances here. Advances towards here or in this area, there's so many full stacks here, so we're probably gonna have to play a battle. So we'll wait to that with that. Then we'll go over to America. So there's been quite the mess here. I was able to expel the first Spanish incursion, but since then there's actually been a second one. I didn't think the area was going to continue to attack through here, but they've been pushing troops up and attacking here. So I've just moved the Scottish army over here. They landed, retook the New Orleans for like the 4th time, or I think no, 3rd time actually, if you go through it. And they're about to take on these guys here. There's another troop which is stationed here. They've taken control of this, and I was moving down an army, this army up here. I was moving this army down, which was an army that I just quickly recruited. So I recruited Bearskin Grenadiers and Guard Grenadiers, Targeteers, and sent them down to deal with this, just to push them out, or have something come meet them, so they don't just continue through and take everything. But I somehow had missed the fact that the Indians had slipped 2 navies past me with invasion armies. So the Indians are going for the major recruitment centers in North America. They've attacked Philadelphia, and they've taken that with one of their bullshit stacks of light infantry. And then their navy that actually landed this army has gone ahead and attacked Plymouth. Then they've got a second one, which is on its way with another one of these bullshit full stacks. Given its current sort of trajectory, I imagine it's actually going to try and attack Quebec. So I'm moving these troops back to defend Quebec, rather than pushing them forward. I think, yes, I'm recruiting some extra troops in Boston. Hopefully Boston will be able to withstand if there's an attack by these. Now, I don't have any forts in North America, so that's going to be difficult. And I think, yes, I filled you in on everything now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look here first, I think. And what I'm planning is I want to out-resolve as many of these bullshit stacks as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this entirely melee composed army. We're going to go here. This one seems pretty easy. We've got 3,000 versus 1,000. Should be a good out-resolve. Boom. We lost 300 men. They lost almost 600. Unfortunately, there's some of them left. Luckily for me, they actually moved into town. I move over here. Hopefully now when this one attacks, they will not be able to help, but I looking at this, I'm pretty sure I will be able to destroy them. Gonna go ahead and out-resolve once more. So they lost 800 men, only 600 remaining. We lost less than 400, and they are forced to retreat. Now the question here is if to backtrack and try and save some of the territories back here. I'm not entirely sure if the enemy will try to go ahead and siege them. I think it's better to try and upset the enemy right now, because even if I move back, there's so many full stacks here. So we're just going to upset the Indian economy by taking out as many of these places as possible. So here I will get the aid of the second army, which will be great. A lot of these troops won't be able to escape, and we're not going to ask them to surrender this time. We're going to out-resolve, and we lost 430 men, but we killed 1,500 enemies. And we just took yet another area of India. So we've taken 3 of their areas. So kind of panicking going on in India. So that's really nice. We really like that. Hopefully they might be able to... Ooh, war weariness is really high in their home province. Because of all the losses. So they're gonna have to send extra troops to hold down to actually keep this province. And with me conquering a lot of these, you know what? We're gonna amplify the problem in their home province. I have sent so many priests over to scout at a lot of these different locations. So we're gonna send all of these priests that I've got, all that are available. It's gonna converge. Okay, I'm gonna send this one as well. Rather than having our spy there. We do have a spy all the way up here. He might actually move back because I want to see what's going on here. Damn, he's able to move really far. All the way up from northern part of India. And then just down through all of this. This is a broken down army as well, so that could be easily taken over. And then this really good missionary is going to be moved over here. So we're going to amplify the problem. Now, I think the Indians have actually researched to half the discontent or the unrest of religion. So even though 50-60% is Protestant or different religion than the government, it's only going for 1 point there. And hopefully we'll keep this up, so we'll increase the war awareness just by, instead of taking on a lot of these armies, attacking and taking more places. So next step could be definitely this army could definitely probably jump to this area. This one could probably, I could probably split this one in 2 and take out both of these places. And depending on, we might not be able to hold this one down, but this one could definitely jump onto this, and we could just clean out the coast here. And the thing is, with all these areas lost, I imagine India is now suffering quite the problem in terms of their economy. What we should really do, maybe instead of as we currently are raiding their trade, we should completely block it. So we're gonna completely block out their trade, so the economic strife of the Indians are now utterly complete. They're only actually using this port for trade. They're not. This is a naval hospital, that's why. This is a commercial basin, though. But that one just got raided by one of our ships, so tough luck, India. Don't think my garrisons will hold. I probably could kind of some way manage to bullshit my way through winning one of these battles, but we'll see. Now let's go to North America. So what I want to do now is this battle right here. This one's actually very even, and the reason for that is that we lost so many men out resolving in New Orleans, which is a problem. And it's a boring battle as well, with all those Spanish troops. But at the same time, I need to get rid of them. You know what? I could just show you an excerpt of it, and then we can continue. We're looking at the most key moment of the battle. We're actually blowing up our own men with our howitzers at this point. So they will hold the fire. No, they will actually fire round shot instead. So just to quickly look over, I have gone ahead and placed my Scotsmen, the footmen of Argyle, into squares. And then we've got gunners kind of in between them. I was kind of hoping that would work. Doesn't seem to have worked on all places, but it certainly worked on certain ones. Certainly didn't work here. It seemed to have worked kinda here. And it might very well work here, where I'm able to flank them. Now my cavalry is coming in. I'm gonna attack the enemy from the back. Hit them with grenades. This area is where we need to figure out how to stop the enemy. Right, the Pistoliers should be ordered to fire. So they will fire into these Spanish Marines, inflicting terrible damage on them. I want to continue grenading this one. The square of there is holding. We've got them firing shots into the flanks here, which looks to be going just fine. It's just here in the center that we need to fix it. I think we're gonna deal with it though once the Pistoliers... We can see the Pistoliers doing a tremendous amount of fire on the enemy. Time to pull these guys back before they get destroyed. And instead maybe move these guys to deal with it. The Grenadiers have been blowing up the enemy. Okay, this square is not actually used. So why don't they go ahead and do something about it? Pistoliers cutting down these guys. I guess the problem a little bit with the Scottish pikemen is the fact that they're unarmored. So they just got their, like, their plaid or their kilt type thing just wrapped around them, rather than actually having any kind of actual armor on them. Right, we were able to break down all the Spanish pikes over here. Now the Pistoliers will move over here, deal with them. The 2 Scottish units will now be moved to deal with these 2 instead. And we'll get the Gunners and the Grenadiers to help out. And we can get this little unit over here. So now we're surrounding these guys instead. Pistoliers. On to the sides, fire at will. And let's see if we can't break these guys as well before this square gets taken out. And then these. Let's move close enough so the enemy has to go ahead and engage us. Here comes the Pistolier shots. Start cutting down the enemy. Oh. I think it might be time to tell the cannons actually to hold fire. They're not really gonna achieve anything right now. Let's get the pikemen close. Get the Grenadiers right after. Gunners over on this side. And they're intensifying their attack on the Scottish square. But at the same time, we are intensifying our fire upon them. They're getting completely destroyed. Right, form phalanx, Grenadiers, throw your grenades above the heads in front of the Scotsmen. Blow the Spanish to bits. They're already breaking due to that. Plus we got 1 Scottish unit actually attacking into the flank. I'm going to tell the Grenadiers to charge in. And now the Scottish unit, or the enemy unit there, gives up. And I'm going to order my troops to actually break their formations and charge down the enemy. And there we go, we are victorious. This army though will need quite a bit of time to recover. I'm going to make sure that we chase down all the Spanish troops. More important to chase down the infantry, so that I do not have to face them again. But that's dealing with the Spanish in the New Orleans region. And so we have that battle done. We lost 600 men, but we managed to destroy the enemy army. 2,600 casualties. Only 200 managed to get out of that battle alive. Highest killers goes to 1 pike unit of Argyle. I'm pretty sure I can imagine which that one was. It was the square on the furthest to the right. Managed to kill 652 Spanish as they converged to destroy it. They lost a lot of men though, only 44 surviving. Pike units in the top, then Pistoliers. Pistoliers did really good. I guess the power of their pistols is a lot bigger than that of the matchlock units. I've noticed that the matchlock units are rather weak in terms of how much damage they do. They can hit, their bullets can hit a lot of the enemy troops without in fact really inflicting that much damage. Now I've already set this one, so next turn this one will actually be slightly replenished. The thing is, at the same time I kind of want to go down and actually take this to push the war over to the enemy side. One of the things that I also saw is this actually broke free from Spain. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. We're gonna march after these though, because I want to contain them. I don't want to deal with them running around. And with that said, we're gonna end turn. I want to see where these guys land, whether or not these guys attack, and then also what kind of mess are we waiting in India. So that's gonna be interesting to see. So with that, let's go ahead and end turn, shall we? Prussia offering a military alliance and a single payment. Now the thing is, Prussia only has Brandenburg region and Morocco, which I gave them. The main thing though, I mean, they're not strong, so I mean, why would I go into alliance with them? The main thing why I won't go into alliance with them is because I'm trading with Sweden. And 2/3, in fact, of my trade goes to Sweden, so that counts for 20,000. If I lose that trade, I'll go bankrupt, more or less. So, no, we're not gonna ally with you, Charlotte. You're on your own. The Indians go ahead and attack me at sea. It's a really good opportunity to actually sink this fleet to make sure that they cannot no longer send troops to North America, which would be really nice, but we know that these battles take really long. So similarly, what I did to the battle down in New Orleans, I'll probably do something similar with this one. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look at this battle then. Here's the result of that naval battle. Apparently I managed to kill 6 of their ships, which in fact is not true, because we just went around in circles firing at each other, but because they attacked me and they didn't actually sink me or force me to retreat, that's why I won. 6 of their ships apparently sunk by that. I probably, hopefully, showed you in the little bit I showed that we have the bomb ship now, which is has 2 mortars on it, firing explosive shot onto the enemy. Very quickly though, those 2 mortars got destroyed, and they were very accurate. No, they weren't accurate at all. They were very inaccurate, firing all over the place, spewing shrapnel on everything. So I'm not entirely sure if they were actually that good. Maybe when we get percussion capped explosive shells, so they explode when they land on something, then we might look at something that could detonate and just nuke enemy ships. But anyways, we won that naval battle, which is good. Okay, so the enemy decided, rather than go ahead and attack Montreal, which I thought were they gonna attack, they actually went ahead and attacked Maryland instead. Interesting. Good though for me, because that concentrates all their troops in one area, so it should make it easier for me to destroy them all. We have a major Indian attack on the Golconda Sultanate, the Mysore Sultanate area. Very difficult. We've got 4,000 men in reinforcement, 1,500 ready to attack the fort while we only have 1,600 within it. Definitely a difficult battle, and it's one of those where you just have to keep... This is why I, you know, completely skipped the last Indian war, because this is what it comes down to. They're just dealing with all that spam. I'm contemplating just leaving the Indian continent entirely and then refocusing to come back in force and really hammer them. But that's not really an option now, since they've taken 2 of my settlements in North America, and they're probably going to keep sending troops. So, not entirely sure how I'll do this battle. But I think I'll do it like the other ones, because this is rather boring, in fact. Right, let's go ahead and see if we can't keep this. Right, I decided that there's no way I'm gonna play through an entire hour, maybe have the battle crash, just to face off against these bullshit stacks. So what I've done is I've lowered the timing to 20 minutes, or that's what I say now. What it was that I forgot to change it after the naval battle. Anyways, we're gonna retreat back, we're gonna pull away from this gate, and we're gonna let the enemy get shot to pieces by the musketeers, or the fusiliers in fact. And we're also gonna let their cavalry units run straight onto this and die. Now I've already dispelled the first army, which in hindsight, you know, I thought they were gonna kinda just completely overwhelm me really quick. But my defense has actually worked a lot better than I thought. And given what I learned from this first one, I'm pretty sure I'd be able to hold that quite a few more. I'm gonna move into pike formation. We're gonna tell these guys to run back. And time for the Fusiliers to open fire on the enemy. Goes first rank, second rank, and third rank. I can hear someone else firing behind me. Oh, that not that much of a problem, because the Indian troops have so low melee skill that you can actually kill them with the armed citizenry. Now it's time for second unit to go ahead and fire. Gonna tell these guys to not fire at will. So we're gonna fire into our own men. And this way, we're slowly but surely breaking down their bullshit stacks. There's 44 of them over there, and my armed citizenry is actually cutting them down. I'll place this smaller group of Fusiliers on the side ready to shoot them down, and probably recall this one to the main square. My cannons, I mean, they're so inaccurate that I kinda don't want to even fire with them. But let's just try fire into there. Okay, so these guys have just fired. I'm gonna tell them to hold fire. We're gonna advance this unit once more. I'll let them fire. Oh, that actually took out one of the elephants. So that was a pretty good shot. Good shots. Let's see if we can get this unit out of the way. Fire, and then move to the back, because I can already see that this unit is already ready to fire. just as the Indians are pushing forward to attack them. Or they weren't actually ready. The troops are ready with their bayonets though. And they should be able to kill these guys off. I mean, the sieges would look something like this. And the thing is, it wouldn't just be like, it wouldn't be me showing you one of these sieges. Ultimately, it would be like, you know, loads of them. Just because the Indians got so many bullshit stacks. With bullshit troops. Ah. One unit ran around. They're going for the general of the army, which is in one of the cannon crews. Maybe not actually charge you. I need one unit at the flag just in case. I think we bayonet away everyone now. So pull back. Conserve the numbers. And prepare to fire. Okay, so just as we pull back, the Indians pull forwards once more. Is one of my units breaking over here? I hope not. Once more, we kind of forced into bloody melee here. Enemy general killed. Nice shot there. And we are victorious. But it was looking like these guys were gonna fire. No, they weren't. But yeah, we won this battle. In a way. The full stacks will remain. And I imagine eventually they'll break through. But hopefully by that, long before then, I will have captured the, recaptured the territories in North America. And once I've recaptured them, I can sue for peace. And when the Indians, having lost so much territory, having too big armies that are too big for them, I'm pretty sure they'll just completely get overwhelmed. With that said, let's go back to the campaign map, shall we? Here's the result of that battle, and we can see that we lost half of our manpower. I think I will do better now that I have kind of figured out how to actually strategize against the enemy. The enemy lost 2,400 men. And I think in the long run we can kind of see if the battle was actually drawn out to an hour, then even the ratio as it is, with them losing what, like 3 times the troops, they also deployed about 3 times the troops, so eventually they probably would have gone through and actually taken the fort if it weren't for the fact that it was set to 20 minutes. But yeah, we slaughtered a lot of them and we were able to hold on to the fort. We have armies destroyed and, as you can see, a lot of areas being raided. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of places being raided. Recruitments, building report, ancillary and train. So let's just go over here what's gone down. So the fort held. You know what? It might be easier just to get extra Fusiliers take 2 turns. Could definitely get loads of targeteers then. Targeteers, they have a pretty high upkeep cost. Fusiliers are better. Grenadier might be even better, and the Grenadiers are cheaper, but they're smaller in numbers. So as you can see, the Indians just set fire to everything. And they've also decided to lay siege to Goa. which I think they learned from the strategy, so not to attack our forts. War awareness is going down, but we're gonna continue the conquest. So this army doesn't really reach a new area, so what he can do is actually attack here and save this garrison. So I think that's what we're gonna do, and that's a pretty straightforward out resolve. We lost 300 men, they lost 700, 500 remaining. Not entirely sure why they're allowed to retreat further into my territory rather than actually just going back to their own area. Gonna replenish those. Now with this one, we're actually gonna strike further. And we're gonna deal as much... make as much problems for the Indians as possible by just taking loads of territory. Now even with this region is not actually, even with everything burning kind of in the capital, they're still on my side. They're still on my side. I think we can get a similar result down here. That's actually quite favorable to me. I'm gonna auto-resolve just in, or auto-save just in case. I lost 600 men, but we took the place. We took it. So at this point, I control a very big part of India. I control the entire east coast. Now we got the sword guys here. I think we can split this army. So we've got, let's see, 4, 5, 6. So that leaves, I think, enough to take this place as well. And then the remnants will go there. No, they refuse. And another 2 locations fall to us. We'll burn all their temples, so we can turn their provinces around in terms of religion. Also, when they recapture provinces after I burnt those, they usually actually build pleasure gardens instead. So that's a little bit strange maybe. Now this place becomes unhappy, but if I exempt them from tax, I can keep them under control. So now if we look at the map, they have lost everything but their home region, and they go another area over there. Their home region is very unhappy. War awareness 15. Revolution is about to happen in their home province. If we go to North America now, how to deal with them here? So they not only took Maryland, but they took Virginia as well. Luckily, kind of interestingly enough, they're building up. As soon as they take control of these regions, they build them up. They're not able to turn them though in terms of their religion, so this place is actually becoming rather unhappy. We'll infiltrate it to add on to the difficulty for them. I wonder if that does not actually do anything. Now I do have a little bit of an army here. Not enough to take on them here, but we got this one coming through the wilderness. And these guys could be put to the bridge here. Could drag the enemy there and have them slaughtered. They might be able to jump even as far down as here. My priest's doing well fighting over there. This army... Thing is, I saw a Spanish army down here. So I know that there's an other Spanish army somewhere. They're reinforcing this region. Oh, now they're bringing in the big howitzers. So I know there's another force there. We'll continue just to get rid of these. Let's build up the church. The question here is, we might actually call for a ceasefire when the Indians. Their situation in North America is not gonna hold in the long run, I don't think. We can already see this. Interestingly enough, if America spawns out of that. Because the question is... thing is, since I've abandoned a lot of these places, I can't protect them. Which means the Indians might retake them. But if we organize a ceasefire with the Indians, all their troops have to leave all these territories. They have to go back to wherever, mostly back here, I imagine. So they'll be all concentrated here, and then we can restart hostilities once more. We'll organize something around here to deal with them there. I think that, even though it really pains me to let them hold the territories they hold in North America, I have taken so much of the Indian continent that if I just reorganize the troops in a new front line against them once they're being pushed back, we could definitely just destroy them. I'm gonna see if they even agree to it. Ooh, Tabaraya III is... there are very many queens all over the place. She is actually completely useless in terms of ruling this, which adds to the possibility of there being a revolution in their home province. The revolutionary fever in the region is so high that even the bloody nobles might be revolting. They've also sent a priest here, hoping to stem the tide of Protestantism. We're still going up 1% each turn. I don't think we're going to be able to get more than 2 religious unrest if we're lucky. I could do that, or I could add 1 more turn, in which case I would be... The thing is, I wouldn't be able to really take another province. It would be... I don't think I have range to go anywhere. So I think that's the best choice, actually. We'll see. That is, of course, even if the Indians agree to a ceasefire. They did agree. They did agree to a ceasefire. Everyone else must be so unhappy. France hates me. Territorial expansion, minus 400. Habsburg, are you even alive? Oh! You have the little island. With no trade capacity on it. That's the only thing I'm interested in is trade. What are you doing here? What are you still doing in my territory? Is this a rebel army? Why is it still there? That's odd. You can see all the troops are now forced back into their home region. The war weariness -9. They can exempt tax. I'm building up all of this, then we can re-establish new battle lines. Most of their troops are combined here. Once war starts, we could just send in all the troops from all sides and destroy them. And a similar thing in North America, where we managed to organize the troops we have here. This army, combine these 2 forces here, then just march quickly through. By that point, this army should have won here and should be on this side, meeting both sides there, destroying them. This force needs to be replenished. And yes, Bob is your uncle. There is where we're gonna end the video today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!